Though the moon has long inspired myths and romance, it may also play a far darker role, one that science is only beginning to confront. While its glow bathes Earth in soft silver light, its gravity may stir violent forces far beneath our feet. Some scientists believe that the moon's gravitational pull, especially when combined with the sun's, can trigger volcanic eruptions and earthquakes, tilting the balance at tectonic fault lines. This idea, once dismissed as folklore, is gaining cautious attention as data mounts. One of the strongest proponents of this theory is Jim Birkeland, a former geologist with Santa Clara County, California. In 1989, Birkeland caused a stir when he predicted a significant earthquake would hit the San Francisco Bay Area just days before the devastating Loma Prieta quake, which occurred during the World Series. It measured 6.9 on the Richter scale, killed 63 people, and caused over $6 billion in damage. Birkeland's predictions, controversial and often criticized, were based in part on the position of the moon during perigee, its closest point to Earth, and on tidal stress patterns. He believed that when the moon and sun aligned, during full or new moons, their combined gravity increased stress on Earth's crust, acting as a final trigger for earthquakes already primed to rupture. While mainstream geologists remained skeptical, Birkeland persisted. He tracked lunar cycles, animal behavior, tide charts, and even lost pet reports, forming a kind of multidimensional forecasting system. Though not scientifically orthodox, some of his predictions appeared eerily accurate. Critics called him lucky. Supporters called him prophetic. But Birkeland wasn't alone. In the 1990s, volcanologists Steve and Donna O'Meara began to study correlations between lunar phases and volcanic eruptions. On an expedition to Arenal volcano in Costa Rica, they noticed a pattern. Eruptions consistently peaked when the moon was directly overhead or beneath the volcano. They mapped the moon's position during multiple eruptions and found that it correlated with increased tidal stress beneath the surface. In fact, the O'Mearas claim to have predicted eruptions with up to 80% accuracy by simply tracking the moon. Skeptics remain, pointing out that Earth's crust is complex and that many factors, pressure, gas buildup, water infiltration, can cause an eruption. But the theory is compelling. The moon's pull doesn't cause eruptions or quakes by itself. It simply adds the final nudge, the last straw, to a system already on the brink. This idea becomes even more intriguing when applied to solar eclipses. During an eclipse, the moon, sun, and Earth align in perfect syzygy. The gravitational forces line up as well, creating an astronomical tug-of-war that may cause dramatic increases in tidal stress. Birkeland traveled to Peru to witness a solar eclipse and reported that locals anticipated an earthquake to follow. They were not disappointed. Within days, seismic activity was recorded in the region. Could it be that ancient cultures knew something we forgot? That the moon, in perfect alignment, becomes more than a mystical symbol. It becomes a geophysical trigger. The science behind this is subtle. Earth's crust isn't a single shell, but a mosaic of tectonic plates floating atop semi-molten rock. These plates constantly shift, driven by internal heat, gravity, and pressure. When one plate grinds against another, stress builds. Eventually, the stress becomes too great, and the crust slips, causing an earthquake. Now, imagine this system under the influence of additional gravitational stress. During perigee, the moon is about 30,000 miles closer to Earth than at apogee. This proximity increases its pull by about 20%. When perigee coincides with new or full moon phases, called a perigean spring tide, the combined stress on Earth's crust and oceans can be enormous. Add a solar eclipse into the mix, and you get a rare moment of maximum tidal force. For a fault line already under strain, this may be enough to trigger a rupture. In 2004, a massive 9.1 magnitude earthquake struck off the coast of Indonesia, triggering a catastrophic tsunami that killed over 230,000 people. It occurred the day after a full moon. In 2005, just after a solar eclipse passed over Pakistan, a 7.6 magnitude earthquake devastated the Kashmir region, leaving 87,000 dead. While correlation does not equal causation, these events have sparked renewed interest in lunar influence. Some geologists have begun incorporating tidal data into their seismic models. Others remain cautious, wary of turning science into astrology. But even NASA has acknowledged that the moon plays a role in modulating tidal stress, particularly in shallow fault zones near the ocean. It's not an outright endorsement of lunar-triggered quakes, but it's not a denial either. If true, this means that the moon, even today, is not done shaping Earth. Its influence may have shifted from oceans and winds to something deeper and more destructive, an invisible hand pressing on the trigger of the planet's most violent forces. Yet even as the moon drifts farther away, its pull may remain powerful. And perhaps that's the most haunting truth of all. Something so distant and silent might still be dictating when and where our planet shakes.